Guys, just so many emotion watching this episode too. Like everything you hoped for plus more was technically given to you. The dread, the drama, the beauty, everything molded to this episode too. The hype is real because I wasn't expecting to have a very dramatic, beautiful, deep episode like this. It just hit hard, hit home, and just felt great. That being noticed, they didn't need to hit this hard, but they did because they care, and they also realize you need more than visualization of existential crisis of the characters. That you have to talk, explain, and get more deeper. Of course, if I continue on this episode review, my name is Rachel. I usually talk about animation, not just animation, do reviews, first impression, cartoon theories, and sometimes, if I have some spare time, cartoon breaking news. And today we're talking about Amazing Digital Circus episode 2. Of course, if you like how this is going, you like to help my channel, please like, comment, and subscribe. That's all you need to help my channel. If you don't, that's fine. Let's start with this episode 2 review. I was completely surprised on episode 2. Episode 2 of Digital Meeting Circus was beautiful. It's one of those episodes, it's sort of hard to describe how deep, mature you understand what is being alive, what is being a character, because you follow Pomni waking up at the very beginning, sort of kind of have a midnight crisis that she doesn't know she's alive or not, or even that people will remember her. And that's one of her biggest fears and her own nightmare. To recognize, sort of wake her up and knock the door, tempted to wake her up and comfort her, but once again, Pomni just pushes away. They want to be left alone. And that's all they needed to do, sprinkle a little bit of that. But no, they keep adding more to it. You get more of Rakatha and actually Jinx, that both of them are actually kind of broken. How Tabitha is sort of needed to be take care of someone else, almost telling you that she has some teacher or big sister thing she must do to feel sort of in control and understanding, even that she wants to help, but helping someone is also helping her to sort of mature. And Jack is sort of the same thing, but a completely different direction of this episode. Because in this episode, Jack is just want to have chaos, just burn. But yet, every time they talk about death, or every time there's nothing here to entertain, he gets anger and frustration. That you think, oh, because he wants violence and destruction, he is chaos. But no, that leaks a little bit more deeper to Jack. That he is sort of scared to being quiet, scared not doing anything besides being sort of destructive or pure chaos. Because if he does nothing, the quiet gets to him. The sort of reality of his own world finally realized, and that this is a reason why he attempted to run away. He attempted to be so destructive, and that made it so interesting every time he wanted to be just violent. Of course, not just him, you also have Gummy Goo, a sort of new character they introduced this specific episode, because Gummy Goo is sort of a bandit of this digital new IP that the creator of Digital Circus created just for the IP people to actually have fun with, just to get out of their own heads, to be distracted. But this one though IP, aka Gummy Goo, he's a bandit, but something happened to him to be awake. And this is the point this show became amazing, because it deepened him as a character. If you know him a few seconds, that telling he's a bandit, tends to steal sort of syrup for his own mother in his own town to survive by this evil, maybe not evil queen, he just needed to steal this to make sure everybody's okay on their own hometown. but he sort of slipped out in between the programs on the sort of dark web program that there is the map and they fall in down the map. It's sort of black. It's sort of a room that you position all the IP that you don't need, drop there after you've been used, and that's gummy goo dropped inside that Pacific world. That seeing the reality of his world, understanding he's not real, and that just hit hard. He just almost broke. He doesn't know how to react, how to feel, even to move. Even that his conversation with Pommy, understanding her position, that Pommy trying to explain that you're not alive, you're a IP, a character you made just to sort of entertain them, but not a very despicable way, a explanation. In fact, they sort of skip it, left your own interpretation, but that look, that emptiness, that a gummy goo doesn't know how to react. That's the thing make this episode so good because Pomni was sort of struggling to explain, to feel, to understand, to be forgotten. And that conversation with Gummy Goo really hits her hard. The point that it almost comfort her. It's sort of the idea of other people comfort other people if they have the same trauma or something, understanding the trauma. And this is the interesting thing because it really comes down Pommy, her perception, her understanding, her being, well, real, than to Gummy Goo not being real. But it also deflects the idea being alive is not being programmed or what is your memories. It's the idea to understand, yeah, I could be fake, but I make my own memories. I can become my own person. In that make it interesting. Even that they don't go that deep explanation of Gummy Goo, but you felt it. That conversation with Pommy to understand he wants a little bit more, but he doesn't know how to engage. And thanks to Pommy understanding, she asked him to join her in the digital circus to be around people who are intelligent, realizing this world is manufactured, but at least we have each other of comfort. Of course, in between everything, you see Tabitha and Jinx, not Jinx, but you get the idea who I'm talking about. That both of them are having sort of fun to figure out this sort of mission they're given to stop the crocodile stealing the honey, and they have their own sort of wacky racer, Mad Max, Fury Road, destruction of Candy Kingdom. But you realize they can never die. You also everything's super violent and destruction. Lucky that they cannot die. If they don't, they'll be dead really, really soon. But they sort of crossroad these two stories, one with a Gummy Goo and one with Pontley and the other characters, sort of intersecting to understand the real scenario, how they must do things to sort of not digital break, especially with Pommy and Gummy Goo, how they sort of understanding how Pommy sort of convinced the group to bring Gummy Goo in their universe or the reality of their universe, if you want to go that direction. But besides that, that was interesting, especially with Jack, that how he's sort of struggling to move on because he is hurting, but he doesn't say it. It's like the subtle moves he does, the realization, oh, we gotta have a special tribute to our friend who actually went mad. And when Raggedy says that, you can see Jack's reaction. He almost needed this, almost realized he almost forgot about his friend. And that sort of hurt him, like he doesn't want to say anything, and he just check it off, not words. But that moment just hit hard because just one simple expression, that look, you just get it. And I think that's why it's so amazing about this episode. It's sort of the trauma and pain of each character, specifically the three main characters they focus on: Ponmy, Raggedy, and Jack. that all of them are sort of dealing with their own problem. Like, for example, Raggedy, how she dealing with it, it sort of becoming sort of a big sister or a sort of teacher from Pomni to make her more comfortable, to be more accepted in the group. But it feels more that she does this more for herself and also at the same time helping her. So this sort of a good kind of basically killing two birds in one stone sort of scenario. And that is just I find kind of fascinating. It really asks that question. Raggedy and not Raggedy used to be a teacher or sort of a leader or something like that. They sort of lean into that. That something helps her to feel in control, not really break. You also have Jax sort of pointing out that how he acts, he only does destruction just to make sure the quiet doesn't really get to him. The realization they're trapped. And that's just sort of interesting. You can tell how both of them sort of deal with this. Because Pomni also does similar thing to Raggedy, that she sort of kind of helps her to talk about it, but only helps the sort of people who has on the same trauma as her. Even that all the people around Pomni has the same or similar issue to her, is that she doesn't feel safe enough or she doesn't feel in control. And that's make her more interesting. Is what I like about this episode is just really explore each single character, how they deal with their own trauma. All of them does completely different. Some of them do similar, but yet you understand that. Especially what happens to Gummy Goo, that they bring him to his world, and he sort of, let's face it, you see the episode, he exploded or be erased because he doesn't really belong that. You see Pomni broken again. That was hilarious, sad, and also traumatizing because sometimes you expecting Gummy Goo, he will be at least a permanent character, but no, he was sort of erased, and that hurt. It felt with pain. I felt that, but at the same time, you understand how Pomni feels, how she deals, how each character deals with sort of scenario, that they really just go for whatever idea of the next playtime or IP they get into, sort of to do their own mission, to just check it out and just basically recharge, in other words. I thought that sort of interesting. I don't know you, this episode was beautiful. That's the best way to describe it, because it's sort of relatable, understanding, and trying to heal. And I think that's the best way to describe it. I don't know you, how you felt about the whole episode 2 of the Amazing Digital Circus. You felt this was a great episode or okay episode? Tell me down below. Let me know. I got nothing else to say. Just thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and have a wonderful day. Bye.